Jamie. I work at a call center and I'm a pagan.
So, what is paganism?
Well, paganism is just really, a lot of times, a lot of people could describe it as a nature-based. It has roots in the ancient times, which just mean people of the country. Also, it did have the connotation that people were also ignorant because it was based in the rural area, which is why we're trying to reclaim it today, but some people actually don't like the term paganism, but usually it's the umbrella a lot of people use. Or the alternative would be polytheism, which just means you believe in more than one god. And then there's the hard, and then there's the soft polytheism. Soft means it's actually monotheism, while hard means you're a true polytheist.
All right. So, what ideology/religion do you follow?
Well, I'm a Greek polytheist, or Hellenist polytheism, which just means I follow the path of the Greeks. Somewhat, a little bit Reconstructionist, but not that strict.
Bowling. So, what misconceptions have you faced personally about being a pagan/polytheist?
Well, I think the first one is they always bring up the Blair Witch Project where she's dancing around naked with sticks, which I think is hilarious. And yeah, sometimes we do dance around naked with sticks, but that just depends on what your particular pathway is. And a lot of people think it's a lot of role playing or even parlor tricks, when really it's more spiritual based. Like, a lot of people think I smoke pot. Or I use mushrooms and stuff and run through the field like a hippie, which I don't do that. Yes, it has been proven that back in the ancient times they did use other means such as hallucinogens a lot of times, but they really didn't know what they were, and they believed that ecstasy brought a religious experience, and though it can today, there are safer ways to do that. So, it's just like any other religion. It grows, it develops. And a lot of people are still tied to that, to the movies, to some of the history. When you think about Christianity, it's the same way. I mean, they don't still going around burning people on crosses or anything. So.
Okay. So, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just put my fingers away from the little thing right there. So, discrimination. Have you faced discrimination based on your religion, or do you know anybody that has?
I have, and I know a couple people who have. Most of it's really minor, and a lot of the discrimination you face is very, excuse me, is in very small doses. It's not like the movies where they kind of dramatize everything. And really what discrimination is, first off, is anytime, even something small, like not as big as getting looked over for promotion, but maybe they never invite you to the gatherings because you're not a Christian. So there's varying degrees of discrimination. The one I faced was a little bit more extreme than the average. I went to the school up in Meigs County. It was Meigs Middle. Sorry.
Very good.
And, well, I was obviously, I've been a witch for a long time. Back then I did identify with paganism. And, well, I'm not sure, and I've always been very open about it. And the thing about Meigs County, if you've ever read the Stephen King or seen the movie it's its own little dairy. You're in, you're out, it's its own little world up there. The only thing we were missing was the killer clown. And then, well, I've never been never really bothered anybody, but I wasn't really social with people. I had a few friends there, and I got called into the office one day and they told me that I was facing expulsion because casting a spell on someone. I didn't even know this girl, and I don't do, well, I didn't do curses back then. And they were going to expel me for it, saying it was the same as a threat, which it is. I mean, when you do put yourself in that situation, when you do go into casting curses on someone, it is the same as a threat, and you can get prosecuted for it. I didn't know this girl. We've never even spoken. And they were going to expel me for it, but just based on there was 3 pagans in that school. My friend, we were always constantly, if we wrote a paper that even had a touch of the supernatural, they thought that we were mentally disturbed. They were very close-minded, but I went to Brown Middle School, which is in Chattanooga. Never had an issue with it. There was a bunch of pagans there. Now, there were some who really just wanted to go off and try to do the Ouija board, parlor tricks, and not really taking it seriously, but I think all religion's that way. I mean, I know a bunch of Christians who try to do light as a feather, stiff as a board, or conjure up demons, so we all have room to grow.
All right. Religious tolerance. What can Chattanooga do, or what can we do to promote religious tolerance?
As far as religious tolerance, well, the first thing is, if you really don't care about another person's religion, just don't ask them. Like, a lot of the times, people don't care to answer. In fact, people would love to educate others on what you do believe and stuff, but even the stupid questions, do you dance around naked with sticks and stuff like that, we don't want answers. But we do not like to be made a fool of. If it's a joke, that's the major reason why people don't want to answer. And if people don't want to answer, they've had those bad experiences, and you should just not take offense to it. Most of the time, the best way to coexist is just ask the occasional questions, like, you wouldn't bring, like, if you go into a barbecue and you know your friend's Jewish, you don't want to bring a pepperoni ham pizza, you know, or because that may offend them. But you can always ask, like, look, I really like ham. Do you care if I bring this? You know, because I know you're not into any type of pork. You know, and it's just more like a respective grounds. And if you do, like, if you didn't know, because a lot of people don't know about the kosher rule or that one particular thing, you know, you can always apologize. And you know, a lot of the times when people know they do have something random, even though every now and again we do tend to forget, you know, what is not, you know, well known, you know, you always make room for it. And really, just taking your time, patient, you know, just being a respectful host. Like, if people ask you to take off your shoes and you don't understand why, you can always ask. I mean, that's the best way to coexist, is maybe not badger everyone with questions, but, you know where you stand and where they stand can really help. And just like you wouldn't take a demonologist and a Christian to the same room if they don't want to talk about it. But, you know, well, I offend you if I say this, or, well, I offend you if I say this, and if you do, best not to say anything at all. Or maybe just look over it, because just because you're on a diet doesn't mean no one else can have cake.
I like that. All right, thank you so much.